trying to create these two cylinder and then subtract it from the original drawing or original object. The first thing that I want to create is that some sort of a reference line for myself in order to know that where to place the center of this. I know that it's kind of from this endpoint. If I go up and then here, it's going to be half a unit from this side and then 1.5 unit to this side. So let's go back to our drawing. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to draw some sort of a reference line for myself. So I'm going to use the line tool. And as you can see, if I move my mouse to different direction and different faces, AutoCAD automatically associate that UCS and basically create a temporary UCS for myself. And as you can see, if I look at this navigation and the navigation cube, you see that the navigation cube changed when I move my mouse to different surfaces. So I'm going to move my mouse to this surface because I want to start drawing from this surface. I'm going to start the drawing and I'm going to bring it up, and then as you can see, it's basically associated, and it's kind of a green color. That means that it's associated with the y-axis, right, instead of z-axis. So I'm going to press Control and right click, and I'm gonna use a perpendicular, and I'm gonna attach it to this surface. Then I'm gonna draw to this direction. I know I have to go half a unit, and then I'm gonna go to this direction. Basically, as you can see, it's gonna be associated with the this, direction of my original y-axis, not the temporary one. So I'm gonna use 1.5 unit for this direction as well. So and then after I'm finished, you see that the navigation cube is basically back to what it was before. So if I press Shift and then pressing my scroll bar, you see that I can just navigate through my drawings and then going from one side to the other and then explore it. And as you can see, all the lines that I just draw is basically within that surface instead of just without having any association with anything. The other way of bringing this orbit commands is that you can use this navigation wheel, and you can click on the navigation wheel, and then this orbit basically want to be the same function as it was before. And it's very important where you place the pivot point. So if I place the pivot point here, that's going to be affecting that how I'm going to orbit around this object. Still, just like what we did for the regular AutoCAD to the AutoCAD file, I can just go for the reward and then bring it back to where it was at the beginning. So that's gonna be sometimes you come handy. And if you just, for example, let's say I'm gonna change it to Sunbird and I want to get back to where I was before, I can just go over and then click on this navigation cube and then bring it to like a southeast isometric view. So now I have this like a reference line. I want to draw this cylinder and place it right in there. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to this toolbox and I'm going to use the cylinder. And same again, you see that this basically wherever I go, that the new UCS associated with that surface. I'm going to click here and I'm going to use this one as a half a unit, and the height we're going to use 2 because we're going to go all the way down to the end of this object. Now that I have that object, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to pressing Shift and I'm going to bring it all the way, and you can see that it's going all the way in the correct place. So all the time you use this like orbit, making sure that you are drawing a right one, and then navigate through this like it's basically another tool available to you when you are drawing a 3D object. Okay, so now that I have this object ready, I can just do the same thing on the other side, or I can just mirror it, right? It's going to be mirror from the center of this. So let's type mirror and then I, and I want to mirror this object. And as you can see, this again, this temporary like association just highlight the surface. I have different option. I can use this surface or I can use this surface, doesn't matter because all of them is going to be do the same thing for me. And I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to draw from the side, making sure that I am using the right angle, so I can either turn on or turn off the polar tracking or ortho, or I can just making sure that it's like in the right angle. and clicking on the other side. I want to keep the original object, so I'm going to say no, and that will be it. So only thing that I have to do is basically subtracting these two cylinders from the original object. So I'm going to click on the subtract, selecting the first object, pressing enter, and then selecting these two cylinders. And as you can see, those lines is already selected, but since they are 2D, it doesn't matter. The AutoCAD automatically extract them from the two cylinder. So if I press enter, you see that my lines is still there. So if I go over here, I can just select them and erase them. So let's press shift and then navigate to down here. You see that I have these two objects here all the way down. So let's place this one again back to the original, and we're gonna continue our works in the next video.